everybody, Present Matt here. Thank you so much for everyone who is subscribed to the channel. If you're not yet subscribed but you want to be, please hit that subscribe button so you can join the cool kids that have recently joined. Our subscribers have gone up dramatically, so welcome everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video and welcome to the channel. See you in the next video. Hey everybody, how are you all doing? My name's Matthew and I make ASMR videos every Monday and Friday, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the tingles. Before we get into our Valentine's spicy special, I kind of wanted to show you what I bought after work today. It is got neon. I think that's how you pronounce it. Probably not. It's bubble bath, and it's in this glass bottle. It has lavender, jasmine, and Brazilian rosewood. It's their scent to de-stress, and I shall be putting this in my bath after I've recorded this video, so I will de-stress and unwind. Do we like the tapping of this? Anyway, I wanted to show you this. Now today's video, I'm doing something I haven't done before, and we are going to be looking at 50 interesting sex facts that you probably didn't know. It's from a website called Coates Counselling, and we're going to read through these facts and see what we can learn. So nearly 10% of all dreams include sex. Sex dreams aren't just the territory for horny teenage boys. In fact, nearly 1 in 10 dreams contain some R-rated sexual content. And that's true for both men and women, according to a study published by the American Academy of Sleep Medicine. Oh, interesting. Women get erections too. Women actually get erections in their genitals, and even though they are smaller than the male counterpart, they are just as important. The clitoris is made up of the same spongy erectile tissue as the penis, which expands and engorges with blood when aroused. She explains, you can observe this, just look at your clitoris or touch it. When you're aroused, it will get bigger. Okay. 3% of people have no sexual fantasies at all. Okay, what does this say? 97% of us have sexual fantasies, according to Justin Lee Miller, PhD, a research fellow at the Kinsey Institute and the author of a study on sexual fantasies. Okay. The vast majority say they fantasize somewhere between several times per week and several times per day. Really, the surprising part is that there are some who report zero sexual fantasies. Okay, a headache may actually make you more in the mood. I can't say this word. Contrary certified intimacy educator and sex coach. When a woman is aroused, the vaginal canal also lengthens as the uterus is pulled further upward into the body, the angle often changing as well. Not only is this fascinating, but it's one of the reasons that waiting for full arousal means having more pleasurable sex. Sex is best when your body is ready, she says. Want an orgasm? Then leave your socks on. Okay, forget lingerie. If you want to increase your chances of having an orgasm, keep the socks on during sex. Says research done by University of... could not pronounce that. No one is sure exactly why this works, but one theory is that in order to orgasm, you need to be totally relaxed and anxiety free, and cold feet can interfere with the ability to get into sex, especially for women, says Fran Wolfish. A big penis won't stretch out or ruin a vagina. A weirdly popular myth circulating on the internet these days is that having too much sex or having sex with a large partner or toy can stretch out a woman's vagina and or labia, resulting in ugly roast beef flaps. Disgusting, no wonder I'm gay. Ridiculous, says Harris. The vaginal canal is a muscle and does not permanently stretch from having accommodated a large penis or toy, she explains. The vagina is incredibly resilient and bounces back quickly. Good for you. Also, the shape and size of the labia are unique to each woman and not indicative to her sexual status or history. The G-spot exists, except it doesn't. G-spot is a misnomer, as what we consider the spot isn't a discrete anatomical entity. Harris says instead it's an area of the urethral sponge that is highly sensitive for many people, but bodies and arousal are complex, and there's no surefire technique or even androgynous zone that works for everyone. So basically, you may have a spot you identify as the G-spot, but it actually isn't a spot and it won't work the same for every woman. Interesting. We're talking about sex, but we're talking about having sex more, but having it less. Sex is mentioned in the media more than ever before, but that's not translating to more sexy times. What else is this saying about them? Already having sex about 9 fewer times per year in 2010 to 2014 compared to the 1995 to 1999. In the previous study, we found that the happiness of adults over 30 declined between 2000 and 2014. With less sex and less happiness, it's no wonder that American adults seem dissatisfied these days. The poor Americans. The average person's sexual peak is the same age they can rent a car. Okay, so that needs, so that's definitely a correlation, not a caution. But the average American will have the most sex around age 25, according to the study. They found that people in their 20s have more sex, more than 80 times per year, declining to 60 times per year by age 45 and 20 times per year by age 65. Each year after the peak of sexual frequency at 25 sexual frequency declines 3.2%. Wow. they really dig deep. They really dive into the topics that really matter, wouldn't you say? When it comes to pleasure, penis curve is more important than length. Many men like to compare the length of their penises, but the only people who really care about that number are other men. The vagina is mainly covered in stretch. What? I don't know how to say that. Mechanoceptors, which means that the girth or width is a more important aspect of the penis for women on average, explains Nicole Prowse, PhD, a sexual physiology. Oh god, physiology. Oh my god, I'm looking at the word, I can't bloody read it. Physiology researcher at the University of California. Who doesn't like a girthy penis? The only thing fancy condoms turn on is your credit card. Remember the ribbed for her pleasure or other similar ad campaigns. There are more marketing than the sex magic. The vagina is relatively insensitive to pain and stimulation. For example, surgeries can be done on the vagina without anaesthetic. So the condoms with all the little extra bumps, ticklers and ridges, don't bother. More thrusting does not equal more fun. Forget what you see in porn. Pounding or fast, hard thrusting doesn't turn most women on, and it actually can cause pain and injury. The most common place women experience pain during sex is in the vulva. Vestibule, just under the opening to the vagina, where a thin skin stretches underneath the opening that is very vulnerable to abrasion and tearing. This is why generally women do not benefit or want prolonged pounding, which just drags the penis repeatedly across the area, creating painful friction fairly quickly. Men can orgasm without ejaculating. Orgasm and ejaculation are two distinct physiological responses in men. While ejaculation generally does coincide with an orgasm, the two actually occur in rapid succession, with orgasm coming slightly before ejaculation and tapering off during ejaculation. Men can learn to I can't even say it. I don't know what's wrong with me today. Men can learn between the two. Men can learn the difference between the two and to have orgasms without ejaculating. Want to do better at work? Have more sex at home. Having sex might get you your next promotion. And no, we're not talking about sleeping with your boss. It turns out having a happy sex life was linked with improved job satisfaction and greater engagement at work. To be honest, I could believe that. I mean, I'm in a very dry spell at the moment, but there is something that, I can see having sex would make you feel a lot happier and stuff, so yeah, go for it. Get that D. Men suffer from low libido as much as women do. Yeah, I can believe that. This is a scary fact. It's rare, but it's possible to lose your sexual sensation if you go for long periods without sex. There is a medical condition known as clitoral atrophy, which occurs when the clitoris doesn't receive enough blood flow, causing it to retract into the body. Penile atrophy can also occur, although it's less likely to do with the lack of sex, more often caused by aging or injury. Fantasies rarely get acted out in real life. Yeah, true. Vibrators were first developed as a medical device. 75% of women don't orgasm from regular sex. Ooh, the egg chooses the winning sperm. Most people believe the race to the egg is the fastest sperm wins, and it gets to pass on its genes to the baby to be. The narrative inspires with cultural lens about men becoming competitive. The egg exists patently, she says. In reality, eggs have sophisticated biological mechanisms that actively choose which sperm they allow, and it isn't always the first one to arrive. Break-up sex isn't always a bad idea. The conventional wisdom says that hooking up with your ex is a terrible idea. But a new study published in the Archives of Sexual Behaviour finds that not only does break-up sex not interfere with the process of ending the relationship, but it may help the process of moving on. It turns out that in some cases, break-up sex is exactly the closure you need. Just because you've completed intercourse doesn't mean you've had sex. When it comes to a successful sexual experience, you know what a home run is, but do you know all the 4 bases? Tell people to make sure they make it to each base before heading for the home run. The bases are the 4 F's: French kissing, feeling, fingering, and fucking. A good baseball player would never skip first through third base before sliding home, and neither should you. Slide on in. Get all the way in. Get as deep as you can. All the way to the base, baby. The celebrity sex bucket list isn't as common as you think. I mean, everyone's got a famous person they would, wouldn't they? I mean, I've got a few. Older people have some of the best sex. Sex toys are unregulated. The most popular sex fantasy isn't Princess Leia in a gold bikini after all. So if everyone does it, what exactly are people fantasizing about? The single most popular sexual fantasy amongst Americans today is a multi-partner or group sex, followed by BDSM, novelty/adventure, and taboo/forbidden sex, Miller says. Okay. Do we agree with this? I don't know. I know people are a lot more open, and the whole multi-partner and group sex thing is a to say encourage, that's not the word I'm thinking. I mean, people are more open, so, whatever you're into. Republicans are more likely to fantasize about cheating. Obviously, this article is very American-based, but I'm pretty sure it probably translates to a lot of different countries, really. We're not so different from America, really, are we? Oh, God. Is that going to get me into trouble? Well, with all the clitoris and vagina talk, add it to the list. Too many solo encounters can make sex with a partner more difficult. The penis and vagina account for less than 10% of the erogenous zones. I mean, this one isn't sexy for Valentine's Day, but it's true. You can have a STD and not know it. You can't tell if your partner has an STD just by looking. Desire doesn't always come before arousal. It's a myth that you should. It's a myth that you have to be experiencing sexual desire before you can get aroused. And in fact, it works the opposite way for many people who think they have low libidos. For lower sex drive people, sex generally isn't on their mind and they don't just get in the mood. Oftentimes for them to feel the desire to have sex, they need to be aroused first. That's why regular flirting and physical affection is so important. No couple is perfectly balanced in the bedroom. You may think that if you could get off and your partner's, you may think that if you could just get you and your partner's libidos to match up perfectly, then your life would be all sunshine and orgasms. The truth, though, is that no couple is perfectly matched, and libidos change over time and circumstance. There is a low desire and high desire person in every relationship. Only by removing judgment can each person work to the acceptance and create a happy compromise. Sex doesn't have to include an orgasm. 1 in 6 women have never had an orgasm. That's very sad for those 1 in 6. Everyone needs that big O in their life. The most effective sex toy is your voice. That is true, and actually, I will say something about me is I find the partner's voice to be a huge attraction. I don't know, there's a sexy voice and it gives me, I don't want to say the ick, but it can either turn me on, turn me off, there's no in between. So, just so we're all on that page. Sex therapy isn't just for virgins and sitcoms. I mean, that's a bit like any kind of therapy. Anyone can use it. I think we all know the pull-out method doesn't really work. You learn in science that there's still sperm in the pre-cum, so you can still get someone pregnant if you're not careful. Oh my god, what's this one? You can break a penis. Oh my god. Okay. Getting a penile fracture is a real thing that can and does happen. It's relatively rare, but it's worth talking about, as there are things you can do to protect it against injury. Oh god, I need to take note. The highest risk of fractures to the penis occurs when the couples change positions while the erect penis is still inside the vagina. If you're interested in changing position, I advise you to fully withdraw the penis from the vagina first. Extremely aggressive pumping can also sometimes lead to a penis fracture, so take it easy there, cowboy. Sexting can improve your relationship. I guess that kind of goes back to like the flirting, isn't it? Kind of that getting that arousal and stuff. So interesting. A cucumber is not a toy. Okay, you've been told. Sex isn't a powerful medicine. True. Oh my god, someone is taking their wheelie bin out whilst we're talking about sex. So rude. Fantasy sex isn't that sexy in real life. Do you know, I can see that to be true. I think some things are probably sexier in your head than in reality, because I think we've all had, like, maybe not necessarily like sexual fantasies, but I think we plan things in our head and how we want them to be, and then they don't always turn out that way in real life. So it makes sense that that would translate into sex as well. The secret to mind-blowing sex is lube. Interesting. Lack of erection doesn't mean he's not turned on. 80% of women will experience chronic painful sex. Oh wow, that's quite a high number actually. I didn't think it would be that high. Most women can have more than one orgasm, but few take advantage of it. Well, need to change that. A sense of humour is the sexiest attribute. Interesting. I think so. Yeah, I'd agree with that. And finally, sex should never hurt. Intercourse should never be painful. Somehow, women often get the message that sex hurts, and that's just how it is. The first time may be uncomfortable, but after that, sex shouldn't be painful for either partner. And if it is, talk to your doctor about possible causes and treatments. Don't just accept that is how sex is for you. That's it. Those are the end of our sex facts. And we end on a high that no one wants painful sex. We all want good sex. Get those orgasms. Learn your body. Learn it. We all have our likes and dislikes. Anyway, I'm creaking. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're looking forward to Valentine's Day. And I shall see you in my next video. Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Enjoy. I would say sleep tight, but I think that's the only night of the year where I don't think many people are going to get much sleep. So Thursday is going to be interesting for everyone. Is it Thursday?